Okay, so let's get started.
Let's do it. And we are fortunate enough to be accompanied by the amazing Yuzu and Shamisen. Thank you. So we're going to take our giant sheet of paper and we're going to lay it down just to get as much. Whenever you're working on origami, it's good to have a hard surface to do it on. When you're pressing things flat, you want to get it as nice and sharp, get those creases nice and sharp. So we like working with floor, table. Eventually you might fold in the air, but we'll see how we go. So as Tara mentioned, we've got 3 rules of origami. First thing we got to do is fold the paper in half. So the airplane, we did the book fold, but this time he's going to go corner to corner and do a diagonal fold. And there we are. Rule number 1 accomplished. Hey, voila. Yeah, that's for the cheer, yeah. One of the beautiful things about origami is that every fold requires this beautiful kind of concentration. There's something very meditative about it. It's a great hobby to start at any age. If you don't think you're artistic, try origami. I promise you'll have a good time. Rule number 2, we got to take symmetrical folds, folding them to the middle. So, Tara's going to start with what we call a kite fold, and then do a variation of what we call a rabbit ear fold to make additional flaps. Now when you're making a model, there's 2 kind of stages of the model. Part 1, you're going to create the base of the model. So imagine that you're building a house. The first thing you got to do, you got to build the frame of the house. So the base of the model is much like the frame of that house. If we're building an insect, I got to have enough little corners to make all the legs, antennae, and so on and so forth. So in creating the base of our model, which Tara is doing now, we got to have enough flaps for what we're making. And there we are. We basically have the base of our model right here. You're going to see Tara do a lot of similar kinds of folds. There's much like the alphabet, there's only 26 letters of the alphabet, but you can organize them and rearrange them in an endless combination of things to make words, paragraphs, sentences, books, stories, and so on and so forth. Very similarly, Tara's origami method focuses on the essential folds of origami, the basic building blocks. Once you've learned the building blocks, you can then take that into any model you can imagine, trying your own designing, models by other artists, and fold an unlimited number of kinds of models. We mentioned a little bit about the history of origami. Now origami, nobody really invented origami. Nobody sat down and said, I'm going to invent folding this piece of paper. Paper was invented in China around 105 AD. It reached Japan by Buddhist monks who took it down to Korea. And they reached Japan by about the 6th, 7th century. At first, paper was a high-end commodity. It was really popular. Sometimes they would even have it laced with a little bit of gold in it. And it was used for special occasions and gifts and things like that. But as paper became more available, paper folding became more popular. All right, we have the base of our model. Now we can give you a slightly better view of it. We can rig it up on our patented rig. Now that we've created the base of our model, we're going to move on to part 2, which is shaping the model. Once we've created the frame of the house, we're going to start decorating it. In origami, what we mean by that is we're going to add all the little features that take it from being kind of what the thing is into being very much what the thing is. So I still haven't said what you're folding, so keep an eye out for what it looks like, what you think those features might be. And you can turn to your friend and take a wild guess at what you think it is. And I recommend putting down a little bit of money on it. I didn't say that. I said that. Do what you want. What Tara's doing right now, this is what we call a pedal full. I'm going to try to move out of the way so y'all more can see that. Have you ever tried making a paper crane and got really, really mad at it? This may have been the step that threw you off. And one of the great things about origami, it's one of the practice really does make perfect. You do it 5 times, you get better at it a little bit every time. That's why they have you fold 1,000 cranes before a wish comes true. All that practice pays off. We call this a pedal fold. And there we have it. We've got more and more of our features. Anybody out there have a guess as to what this is? Go out, guess. Raise your hand high. I heard something. Any guesses? Yes, no. Everyone want to prove themselves right. Yes, over here. What do you think? A giraffe? Yeah, you got that long neck. It's a good guess. For sure. What else do we think it might be? Like a what? Crane? Crane or a bird, yeah. A what? Dinosaur? Could be a dinosaur. And the good news is that if you want, this is how origami design happens. You play with a sheet of paper, and then it starts to kind of look like something, and then you just make it look more like the thing. So here we are. We're starting to come out these details, some of the possibilities. Is it a giraffe? Is it a bird? Is it a dinosaur? Those could be feet. Got the tail on there. A couple more feet. And finally, the last few little shaping. We've got the body done. We've got the legs done. Once again, thank you to Use It for rocking that shamisen. Stick around to see her show. It comes up later. You don't want to miss it, trust me. And finally, we're going to take this little flap and turn it into a head. And because we can, we're going to give that head. Why just make the head when you can give it a little mouth? Because it's probably hungry and wants to eat something. Putting up those last little finishing touches. Are we pleased? We are pleased. There we have it. Origami dinosaur out of an 8x8-foot sheet of paper. Thank you so much. We are Tara's Origami Studio. We have our studio located upstairs on the 2nd floor. Please come visit us for all your origami curiosities and needs. This is Tara Yaguchi, founder of Tara's Origami Studio. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the Japan Festival today. Thank you. Thank you
so much. Thank you so much. That was so